What's up, everybody? Andrew Eng here, and welcome to the very first Heal with Andrew podcast. Episode 1. This is the space where we're going to talk about health, healing, personal development, and athletic performance. When it comes to living a pain-free and injury-free life, this is the number one place to get the information you need about how to take care of your own health. You see, we're starting to come to realize that we can't become dependent on medication and surgery as our only means of healthcare. Usually the next step after that, we start getting into holistic methods of healing, like massage, acupuncture, chiropractic. And in these worlds, we realize, hey, we don't need to take medication or have surgery, but we have to get regular treatments all the time just to maintain a base level of health. As a professional healer with over 16 years of experience, I've seen it all. I've seen many different cases from many different people, and I've seen the patterns that occur when we go through this regular system of taking care of pain and injury. And what I discovered was that everyone seemed to be getting pain in the same areas and seemed to be going through the same path and not really getting the results that they desired. I thought, what is the reason why people have a great treatment, they feel amazing, but then when they come back after a couple days to a week, the pain comes back? Then at that point, as healers, we just become healthy versions of medication, where you're having to be dependent, coming every week, getting your healing treatment, but not really solving the root cause of the issue. I found that the root cause of most of our problems comes down to our habits. You see, the quality of our lives is equal to the quality of our habits. Whether it's decreasing negative habits or increasing positive habits, we have to find the right flow in order to live a truly pain-free life. This way, other healthcare practitioners become guides, mentors, and consultants rather than the gods of medicine who know everything, and then we are left in confusion, just blindly following along, listening to advice, without really having any understanding of what is going on in our bodies and how to take care of it. In this episode, we're going to go over some secrets of healing that are really going to blow your mind and allow you to understand the mechanism behind pain, why it happens, and how we can take care of it. Buckle up, it's time to dive in and get started. I developed a framework I call the 6 Secrets of Infinite Energy. This is the mindset of how we think as we follow along the path to our goal of having a pain-free body. And the first secret to understand is the origin of pain. You see, in the clinic, I've had so many patients come in and tell me that they don't know why they're in pain. The doctor doesn't know why they're in pain. Nobody seems to be able to figure out why they're in pain. And over time, I started developing this simple explanation of why pain comes up. And it comes down to 2 things: tight muscles and chronic stress. I found that in every case that I saw, there were these 2 things that were related in every case, whether it was pain, internal illness, or even incredibly complicated cases like cancer. In my experience, every one of these cases had incredibly tight muscles and usually very high levels of stress, without any real way of relieving the body from these 2 ailments. Beyond taking medication, going for a walk, putting ice on it, I realized that the basic frameworks of understanding of how to take care of our bodies have not been updated for many years, and this is what we do at the Heal with Andrew podcast, is to update our culture and understanding of self-care, how to take care of ourselves so that we are no longer dependent on the establishment for the entirety of our healthcare needs. To explain tight muscles, we got to understand how muscles work. Muscles are supposed to move like fibrous bands of tissue, like this. And what happens over time is they start to get stuck together and get all knotted up. That's why they're always called knots. We can also call them muscular adhesions because the muscles are sticking together. Now, when the muscles are tight, they pull the bones close together, and the bones start to rub, and over time, it causes inflammation and irritation, and that's what leads to arthritis. In the cases of arthritis, where it comes from wear and tear, it's not just that the body is wearing down over time, it's that we're not putting the proper maintenance into our body, just like we put in maintenance into our cars to take care of it. Another thing that happens with tight muscles is that they compress on the nerves, creating that pain signal. So all we have to do is release the tension in the muscles, and it's going to take pressure off the joints and pressure off the nerves. You see, the muscles are supposed to expand and contract in order to absorb impact. And what happens when the muscles are too tight is that impact goes straight through the muscle and into the tendons and the joints instead. And this is what causes chronic tendinitis and joint pain. The thing is, in society, we're not taught how to take care of our muscles. We're actually taught to just push through the pain, mostly ignore it, and take medication to numb the natural body's signal of telling us that it's in pain. We have to learn how to interpret these signals so that we can give the body what it wants instead of trying to hush it down and push the pain to a corner of our minds. Another big issue is chronic stress. Now, I get it. Life is stressful. Life is hard. So knowing that, we should also have tools and techniques for releasing stress from the body. You may have heard that the emotions are stored in the muscles. Now, I know that sounds a little woo-woo and out there, but there's actually a simple explanation. So imagine every time you get stressed out and have some sort of emotional experience, your muscles tense up in a certain way. That's why people always say that they hold their stress in their shoulders or in their jaw. There's always some place in the body where we unconsciously tense whenever we have a lingering emotion. So what happens is the body starts creating this neurological association where every time you have that stress trigger, it triggers that tension in the body. So even when the stress trigger is not there, the tension in the body can bring the stress back. And now we're in a loop. The stress makes us tight, and then the tension makes us stressed. What are we supposed to do then to break the cycle? Well, I'll tell you, it's not to rely on antidepressants, and it's not to become codependent on our holistic healer so that they are the source of our health and happiness. It's about learning how to take action and ownership over your health, to learn how to heal yourself so that when you go to these other practitioners, now you can ask for advice. Hey doc, I've been working on these different things and I need extra help to get to the next level. See, it's not just about self-healing. We have to balance it with seeing our healthcare practitioners. Personally, I like to go to holistic healers first, and then only in emergencies do we go to the Western doctors who are going to give us the really intense medication and surgery to solve these issues. Now, when you break your arm, when you really are in pain and you need that medication, yes, these are vitally important things that can help us survive very traumatic situations. But what about the majority of life where it's a nagging pain, an injury from rolling your ankle or training jiu-jitsu? It's these little pains that build up over time, and they end up stacking up until they become big issues. And then that's why it requires the medication and surgery. So let's take a preventative approach, knowing that the mechanism behind a lot of our problems comes from tight muscles and chronic stress. We're going to learn how to heal ourselves. So for the most part, we got things handled. We go to our healthcare practitioners to help us to the next level. And now we know where to go for what thing, instead of only going to Western medicine for things that are outside of their specialty. I wouldn't go to the car mechanic to figure out what's wrong with my refrigerator, just like I wouldn't go to a master of medication and surgery to figure out how to take care of my aching muscles. And this brings us to secret number 2, the power of self-healing. When I was 18 years old, I was chronically injured in every joint in my body, from training in competitive sports like water polo, wrestling, and swimming. And after that, I got into more extreme sports like parkour, free running, and martial arts tricking. I even spent a period of time training to be a Hollywood stuntman. Because I only knew how to go 100% and didn't know how to take care of my body or how to train for longevity, I ended up accumulating injuries in every joint in my body. One day, when I was training at a famous stunt facility, I over-rotated on the trampoline doing a backflip, and I bounced back and hit my head on the concrete wall, gave myself a concussion. Now, I didn't know that I had given myself a concussion and continued training flips and stunt falls, crashing on the floor over and over again every day. After a month of this constant impact, it got so bad that if I just turned my head slightly to the left or to the right, I would get incredibly dizzy and nauseous. I had to go to the owner of the stunt facility and say, "Sir, I wish I could go on, but I really can't. I'm in too much pain and I can't even turn my head, let alone train these stunts. I really need to focus on my healing." And that's when I made the decision to focus 100% on my health and well-being, to get my body back, because at 18 years old, I was in way too much pain for this to be a normal thing. And I delved into everything I could, figuring out how to heal my own body. And after 2 years of obsessive work and dedication, I had learned how to heal my entire body from injuries, and I was able to live pain-free. I used this new body to fulfill the dream of becoming a professional dancer, and was able to perform at a high level doing dance choreography, acrobatics, and martial arts while maintaining a pain and injury-free body. And through this process, I ended up creating another framework called the 5 elements of infinite energy. And these were the tools that helped me heal on my own before going to see healthcare practitioners for regular treatment. When I decided to leave dancing, I went to massage school, studying deep tissue massage and energy healing. And after that, I went to acupuncture school and got my master's degree in acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine. So through all of this education and experience, testing it out on myself and testing it with other people, I refined and honed down a system of how to heal yourself so that you could solve at least 80% of the common issues that come up in life. These 5 elements are self-massage mastery, anchored stretching, energy healing, movement mechanics, and ultimate coordination. Through these practices, it gives you the fundamental principles of how to heal yourself from so many different situations. This methodology has allowed me to continue training even though I was at my wit's end at 18. Now I'm 34 years old, I got my blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I get to train without pain, and I can enjoy the passion in my life. Now this is a taste and teaser into this world of infinite energy. Before I sign off, let's talk a little bit about what infinite energy actually is. Well, remember when you were a kid and you could run around all day long and not get tired? You could fall down, and if you hurt yourself, all you had to do was rub a little dirt in it and you could get up and keep on going. The problem is, over time, as you got older, the pain stopped going away. The injuries started piling up, and every day became an exhausting chore of dealing with constant pain. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's another way. A way that we could turn back time, rewind the clock, and reclaim the vitality of our youth. Over the past 16 years, I've helped thousands of people achieve this result of a pain-free life, and I can help you too. So join me on this healing quest and rediscover the power of infinite energy. I always remember as a kid that feeling of running to the playground, just running as fast as I could and feeling so excited in my heart, in my soul, and in my entire body that I was about to have so much fun going to the playground, and I couldn't get there fast enough. The other times that I've felt this in my life were playing a sport and having so much fun, or getting in some kind of flow state, either in martial arts or dancing. It's that feeling where you're having so much fun and you're in it and you're not getting tired. You could go forever, because it's not lack of passion or fun that stops us from doing what we love. It comes down to pain and injury. So if we solve for that, we can live a life that is truly enjoyable for the rest of our days. Because the person with their health has a million wishes, and the person without their health only has one: to be healthy again. Subscribe, like, and share to the Heal with Andrew podcast, and stay tuned for more secrets of the power of infinite energy.